Hello and welcome, YouTube friends. This is against the sun, I know, but hopefully you'll be able to see something. I'll try to go to the side. Anyways, today's Friday, 21st of June. And the time would be around, I don't know, 1:30-ish p.m. I've taken off work a little bit earlier than usual because apparently it's gonna rain all weekend. So if I want to get some videoing done for you guys, I was thinking now would be the time. So we got apparently the church behind me, and I don't know if this is supposed to be the devil or something. This is a neighborhood I'm not particularly familiar with, so I don't know anything about this church, but if I can find something online, I'll post it in the description. See if we can get the fella on the cross here as well. Yeah, it's against the sun, so it's probably not going to be very good. Anyways, welcome guys. Oh yeah, and I need your recommendations, guys. Since this weekend apparently it's going to be all rain, even though it's midsummer. It's midsummer. It's what's it called? Summer solstice is the word I was looking for. Apparently it's going to rain all weekend, so I was thinking maybe I wanted to stay at home, maybe start a TV show or something. So give a shout out in the comments to your favorite TV shows, or if you have any recommendations for me to watch. Yeah, I know the clever amongst you will shake your head and think, oh, but this video will only be posted maybe a month from after the man said that. And you would be right. Still, however, I would love to see you guys shout out your favorite TV shows and maybe post some recommendations for what to watch. So this weekend, I know I'm on my own. I'll find something. Yeah, so like I said, this is a neighborhood that I'm not particularly familiar with, even though it's not too far from where I work. It's the part of Copenhagen called Valby. The neighborhood of Valby, if you want to call it that, I'm going to take you through is tranquil. Big houses that are probably really expensive. And it's kind of lodged in the corner between three parts of the city. Where I'm coming from now is Valby, and I think actually technically it is Valby what I'm going to show you today. But it's also lodged in between Frederiksberg, where we've been a few times, and also Vesterbro, where we've always also been a couple of times. And it's adjacent to, in the opposite direction, the direction where we're going, where we're heading, is adjacent to the new part of town called Carlsberg town, or whatever the English version would be. We are going to take a trip there at some point, but as I've mentioned before, it's not done, so it's still a lot of construction. So I'm thinking maybe wait, maybe 6 months, maybe even until next spring, something. We'll see. Or if you guys don't mind construction, we could do it, well, soonish. We'll see. Anyways, depending on when I'm gonna post this, you might have noticed that there recently has been one or maybe even two episodes where I'm not talking. That's because I've had some mail, some comments about for some people who prefer me not speaking in my videos. And that is completely fine with me, but I also know that some of you prefer speaking on the videos. So I'm going to try to mix it up from now on. I probably will be speaking most of the time, but we'll also make sure to make room for a few videos here and there where I'm just going to be walking in silence. I don't mind. I enjoy both, so for me it doesn't matter. But as per usual, if you have an opinion, what you prefer, don't be shy to let us know in the comments. Yeah, as you can probably see, some of these houses are really big, and actually some of them are fenced in pretty well with trees and stuff, so I can't get a good shot of them. But hopefully enough for you guys to get a feel of what I'm talking about. Probably redecorating that one. This one over here. So, and since this is I would say maybe 20 years ago, this would be considered a suburb. I wouldn't call it a suburb anymore. It's a part of Copenhagen now. The city is growing. And it's, like I said, right next to the new part of town called Carlsbergvej and Frederiksberg and Vesterbro. So if you do like, using the city, its restaurants, bars and stuff, it's not far away, but still really kind of suburby quiet, if you will. Behind those trees over here on my right are train tracks for the intercity trains. They've kind of, okay, I'm missing an English word here. They're kind of not, I was about to say soundproof, but that's not the right word, because you can hear the train, but it's down in, yeah, I don't know the English word for this, but they've kind of built earthy walls. I don't know the English word for this, but it takes away some of the noise. And this is also a bicycle path, so I need to be careful not to get run over. I don't know if I mentioned the temperature, but it's, for me at least, it's really hot today. I think it's around 22 degrees, so I'm sweating like a pig. But I guess most people would enjoy this. And also, we're not allowed to wear shorts at work, so I'm outside right now not wearing shorts. Whoosh. Women are allowed to wear skirts, but men are not allowed to wear shorts. This looks like a really big house in here. Wow. I don't know, I'm trying to be, like I've said before, guys, I'm trying to be discreet, give you guys a little bit of a peek, but I don't want to spy on people or, invade anybody's privacy. So I'll just give you a quick look where it's possible. Like I said, there are a lot of, fences, hedges, trees and stuff that makes it hard to film anything, but I don't think, as far as I can remember, that we've been on a walk here before, so I thought today would be the day, since it's not too far from my work and it's on my way home, and probably won't be able to film the rest of the weekend, so I thought now is the time. apparently next week, if the weather people are right, it's supposedly it'll get closer to 30 degrees, like 27, 8ish. That is not gonna sit well with me. Whew. When it's this hot, it doesn't cool down that much at night, which means that I have a hard time sleeping. Because if it was hot in the daytime and cool at night so I could sleep, I would be alright. To me, it's the not sleeping that gets to me eventually. But I guess I'm pretty much, maybe not alone in this, but most of my friends and co-workers love the heat. But as you can see, the suburby feel, there are not a lot of people here. It's kind of located in, what should we call it, sort of an enclave. Because around this little enclave there's lots of life and things happening, and so one of my favorite parks actually to the left of us that I'll probably visit during the summer as well. This looks more modern. I think it might be, I'm not entirely sure, because we're close to the old Carlsberg grounds. So this might actually be Carlsberg laboratories. Not entirely certain, but it might be. You can see in the background here, some of the high rises are part of that new part of town called Carlsberg Town, or Carlsbergbyen. I kind of like it. Let's see when it's done, but what they've done is they haven't torn away all of the old buildings. The one in good condition they've left, and then built new stuff up around it. What I think is kind of cool is already now, since even though the part of town, the neighborhood is not done, there are already awesome restaurants in there, bars and takeaway places that are not crappy but pretty good. So I like that they do that, even though the neighborhood is not done. I've seen other neighborhoods in the Copenhagen area where, you know, they've never done that, and even when they finish, it's like a ghost town. So maybe they'll learn from that, because I really like that it has a pulse, if you will, even though it's not done. I'm not an architecture expert, but here's a pretty cool looking house. You know, the old Nordic, probably Fenrir, or however he's called in English, Fenrisulven, the Fenris wolf. What does it say there? Does it say 1405 or 1905? Huh. Not sure. Doesn't matter. The building over here, there's also some Nordic stuff on the roof. Let's see if I can get a better shot of this building from, I don't know if I'm allowed to go in here. It looks like a parking lot, so Let's try it. See if we get booted out or not. It's a very narrow house. You can't see the wolf from here. But you get the idea. You can see it on the sides, so you get the idea, I suppose. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Let me take a picture for Instagram as well. Hang on, guys. Yeah, well, you get the ideas. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's move on. Now, where am I heading? I'm heading towards a couple of famous statues on the old Carlsberg grounds. It's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes walk from here. 10 maybe even, 5-6 minutes, we'll see. Elephants. They've used that a lot. Carlsberg, one of their beers, is called an elephant beer as well. Anyways, I forget the artist's name, but I'm gonna post a link to it in the description if you guys are interested. But they were built by an artist, obviously, and for people with not much historical knowledge, they might seem controversial. We'll get to that when we get there. But if I tell you guys that they were built in the early 1900s, I think, was it 1901 or 1910 or 11? That's giving you guys a clue. But we'll have a look when we get there. It'll be there soon. So these buildings here are part of the old Carlsberg brewery. Today they function as I think there's some offices, but there are also further down. We can see it over here. Hang on. They preserve some old buildings where tourists take tours. You can get samples. There's a restaurant, but you also get a tour. I actually did it not too long ago. It was better than I expected, actually. Since I prefer, mostly small companies, smaller breweries, craft breweries. I mean, it is pretty cool that Carlsberg is as old as it is. One of the first breweries in the world, maybe the first brewery in the world, who managed to isolate yeast in a way that you could brew the same beer every time. Yeah, that was not a given in the old days. Beer often became sour and stuff like that. But I actually think Carlsberg was the first brewery in the world who managed to isolate the yeast so you can get the same beer brewed every time. But here you can see the old buildings and the high rises in the background. Yep. We're not going in there because I think you need to pay to get in there, and the security guard was scowling at me, so we're gonna move on. Yeah. This is the restaurant, I think, in the old buildings. And as I said, the new buildings are right next to it. So the Carlsberg city itself is down here, but as you can see, there's still a lot of construction going on. So maybe I should just ignore the construction. Maybe I should take you guys for a walk there soon anyways. And then in a year or so we can do it again to see how far the progress is. Maybe I'll do that during the summer. We'll see. Now, the statues I was talking about which some people find controversial. As per usual with me, I only remember the rough story, never the details. But I will post a link in the description to some more knowledge about them, so if you're interested, you can check it out. If you're not interested, it's fine too. Oh yeah, I think actually, okay, hang on, that the modern building we passed on the other side was a part of the laboratory, because it says here Carlsberg Research Lab. Hang on, let's see if I can get through the bicycles here. I'll give you a better shot. Hang on, guys. There we go. Don't know if I'm allowed to film here, but I'm probably gonna find out. That's maybe, say, J.C. Jacobson. I don't know if he was the first or the second or something. Anyways, let's find those elephants. I would say 3-4 minutes walk from here. Oh man, I'm sweating. Also a little bit of a peek into the new Carlsberg area, Carlsberg town. See, it's not completely done. It's quite big actually if you walk around there, and I would like to get to know it a little bit better, because like I said, some of it is modern, but hidden, well, in quotations, hidden. Buildings here and there from the old Carlsberg is preserved, but it's like located, you know, in between all the modern stuff. So maybe we should take a walk there during the summer to see if we can find them. Maybe we get bothered a bit about the construction, but yeah, it'll probably be fine. But I think the modern building we're walking right next to now, I think that's the HQ actually, I think, yeah. The park I was telling you about is right in front of us here. One of my earliest walks, I think actually the first walk I ever did, where I didn't know my camera and the camera was pointing upwards the most of the time. I think that was in there, so maybe I should do a walk there again this summer. Yeah, I'm the kind of guy who, you know, learning by doing. I have no patience of reading manuals and checking out research from my camera. When I buy a camera, I just push the buttons and go for a walk and see what happens. That's the way I learn. Yeah, right around the corner here on the right is where we'll find that sculptured gate, or whatever the English term would be, of the elephants. You can also see the buildings in front of us. It's old versus new, located right next to each other. I mean, I don't mind new and modern. I like it, but as long as you still, you know, keep your head on your shoulders and not just tear old stuff down. I mean, if you can preserve it, please do. History is important. All right, here you see the gate in the distance. Yeah, cars are allowed to drive here. I would like to walk in the middle of the road, but I also do not want to die. Surprise, surprise. But you can see some of the modern stuff is over here. And sorry, I'm swearing now. Yeah, I'll try to see if I can get a good shot when we get down there. But like I said, it is a regular street with traffic, so I need to be a wee bit careful. And if I pause, it's also because I want to take some pictures for my Instagram, so oh, here we go. So hang in there, guys, we'll get it. Also right back here, don't want to go back there right now, but it's a pretty good restaurant with Japanese food. Let me get my phone out also. I want to take a picture for Instagram. Hang on, guys. It's really hard. I hope you have a little bit of patience with me now, because cars and stuff. Well, and also if you want ice creams, you can get ice creams. So why is it controversial? Well, if you know a little bit about history, it isn't. But for some people, when they see the sign on the side of the elephant here, they think Nazism right away. But as some of you probably know, this sign is much older than the 1930s and 40s. And like I said, these were built way before the Second World War, and even way before the First World War. I have to be careful now. If I'm squirming around a bit, guys, you know why. I need to be careful with the traffic. I don't know if you can see anything from this angle. It's probably too dark in here. I guess you guys get the point. No, but there have been some people, you know, apparently they're not knowledgeable about the events of history, who's been offended about these elephants, why they're not taken down. Like I said, I think it's important to preserve history, good or bad. And if you do know, like we do, that these swastikas were put here on the elephants way before either of the world wars. I assume everything should be good. Anyways, I wanted you guys to see it. I think we're about to come to the end. Maybe I should just show you guys that restaurant. Not that it's anything. No, you know what? The restaurant is just a building. Let's just finish off here in front of the elephants. Alrighty, guys. As per usual, thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you have any comments, don't be shy. Other than that, have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you all next weekend. Bye for now.